Oh, that was quick. All right, it is the Shake Up After Dark. I'm Alex the Grades.
I'm Tiff Linnell.
Hello, Tiff.
Hello, Alex the Great.
You've had a full week pretty much to marinate on this. It'll be a week tomorrow on this 45 track album.
Whew.
Have you had sex to it yet?
No, I told you I'm saved and sanctified. I don't do that.
You know, Chris Brown has really never really made music I could have sex to. Because, you know, like, what a way to start, right?
Right, we were just supposed to talk about our weekends to start off. How did we end up here?
Didn't have sex, I can tell you that. But Chris Brown's albums, like Chris Brown was making music, I was definitely having sex back, you know, when he was releasing these. But I felt weird having sex to like
a child,
a 15-year-old saying, yo. I couldn't do it. I was like, and I felt like it was on my sleep playlist. Like I would have sex to my sleep. I had a sleep playlist and a sleep it in, meaning that get it in and then sleep in playlist. And Chris Brown, his music wasn't in that, but I would literally like can't do that because that will just ruin. My mind will wander onto this is a child.
Yeah. I was more of a Jay Holiday bed, Janet Jackson discipline.
Jay Holiday, that's a good one. Life Jennings.
Now,
I wasn't trying to have sex to Anthony Hamilton because I was like, that makes me feel 70.
What Anthony Hamilton? One that comes to my mind is Charlene.
Well, Charlene, first of all, I had this girl named Charlene. This girl that I know from college, and she used to get it in to Charlene. It would just
to Charlene
all the way. She was like, yes. She used to throw that fist up, and I just was like, I'm not gonna call her name because there's the chance that she would come against this. She might be watching.
Charlene.
Yeah, like how could you have sex, baby? I'll be sitting here waiting on you to come home. By your side, no. Promise I'll be here to the very no. But this one, people had sex to this one too, and I just. This sounds like a
coming from where I'm. I hate you.
Y'all sound like y'all walking up to the big house.
I hate you. We've got to get started because you mentioned big house and there's a couple of people on there. So we've got to talk about them. Are you done talking about your weekend? I'm not even sure how we got here.
I haven't even started on my weekend. I have a few things that I'd like to reference that happened. And I really had no intentions of being inebriated at all. Wow. Friday. Friday was really chill. Actually, I cooked. So I got drunk at home, me and a bottle of wine. And my homie came over here. So we got drunk like some real young rich niggas. Like YFN, YRN. Young fly niggas, young rich niggas.
Wow.
And that's what happened. I made the most amazing black bean and corn salsa.
It looks amazing.
It was so amazing. Fresh. I don't think I'm ever buying store salsa again.
You're gonna have to make that the next time I come up there because seriously, I'll probably really be in Atlanta
before you come up here. Honestly,
true. I'll have the ingredients ready for you.
You're up here again.
That's true. I'll have the ingredients ready for you. That's not a problem.
Saturday, I did try to stay in the bed as long as possible. I was interrupted and disrupted. But I don't remember where I went first.
Okay.
Like, how is that possible? It was just 2 days ago.
Listen, you said Saturday, and I really was sitting here trying to figure out what in the world I did.
I got a haircut. I went and got my haircut, and then I went to a probate. Time warp.
I'm sorry, you what?
Right. I went to a Kappa probate.
Are you what?
That's a whole hour and a half that I can't get back. It was a little nostalgic, but and then I went to a little house party after that. It was nasty in there. And then I went to a hotel party. No, the hotel party was kind of lit. It was an open bar.
That's it.
So my friend, who basically was gonna leave me because he was drunk, threw up. Well, we had to pull the Uber over so he could throw up. And then I ordered myself Uber Eats because I was like, I literally didn't eat all day. Like, I didn't eat Saturday. So I did all this drinking. I didn't eat. At 2 a.m., of course, it was 2 a.m. again because the time went back. So I order Uber. I come in here. But a drunk me is a passed out me. And so I woke up at 5 a.m. to 7 alerts from Uber saying that my courier has come. Please open the Uber app. Your food is waiting. Your food could not be delivered. So I definitely made that order and didn't receive it because I passed out. And it was one of those, like, your Uber here will be, like, the food will be here in 15 minutes. And I ordered it before I got here. So it probably was going to be here in like 3 minutes. But from the time I walked into my house, by the time I hit the bed, it was over. And
dang.
Yeah, they didn't charge me. And then Sunday I went to the New York Marathon. That was exciting. It was exciting. It comes right through my neighborhood. And they actually, by the time they get here, they're at mile 26.8. I was like, some of y'all, you could tell y'all, ooh, you tired. But keep going, though. I'm gonna sit here and drink my coffee. I'm gonna sit here and drink my coffee and wave.
Right.
Some of them people was getting it, but some of those people was like, nah. Alexa just came on. And she said she's resuming Spotify. And can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
You know how, do y'all know that God is able? Because Prashia Hilliard
just stepped in.
Alexa, music off. I didn't even say her name, so I don't know how she came on. Like, that's why that's you can't be trusting this technology. Because when I heard her say resuming Spotify, why?
I cannot. I just absolutely cannot.
Anyway, I went to the New York Marathon and then did some miscellaneous errands and then cooked a nigga meal and watched Bravo for 4 hours, which I was not underwhelmed. I did recognize that I think that The Real Housewives of Atlanta is really not a good show. I've just been invested in it in 10 years. And I'm invested with the characters. So I watch it. But Married to Medicine really is a better show. They have a better cast. And people are like, oh, I don't want to see, elite black people. Oh, shut the fuck up. All of you people argue and have issues. And Married to Medicine is a good show because it follows their real life. Like, these people have real issues. It's not a whole bunch of made up drama and storylines. It's like, oh, damn, that's real.
Right.
And it's funny. So I was all the way into Married to Medicine. Escape premiered as well last night. I don't know if you heard about that, but
I heard about it, didn't watch it.
Candy, I'm shaking my head. And then, of course, Watch What Happens Live comes on after all of those reality shows, and Nene Leakes was on. So it was definitely entertaining, but my macaroni and cheese was much better.
Dang.
That was my night.
What did I do Friday? So Friday I worked, then came home and took a nap. Saturday I worked. I did go to my workout class though, and then came home, worked, took a nap. Sunday, I went to an expo with my mom. Went to do a suicide prevention walk, and then went out to dinner, and then went to play laser tag.
This is going to sound like a question, but I really don't know the answer. So suicide prevention walk, y'all are walking to like benefit research and help and assistance for people so they don't? Because I just don't know that a walk could prevent somebody from ending
it's more prevention in the sense of awareness that there are options out there to prevent you from committing suicide.
Okay.
So
I mean, that was a real question. I'm sure a real nigga's at home like, how should
I didn't take it any kind of way. It's more of it was called an out of the darkness walk or something like that. Okay. But it's more of an awareness thing. So I did that. It was a very short walk. We just walked one time around Piedmont Park. And then, like I said,
long walk.
Well, normally I do 5Ks, so it was shorter than a 5K, so that it wasn't a long walk for me. Then went to play laser tag, and
I do 5Ks every day, so
true. Then went to play laser tag, then went to lunch, and then left the walk, went to lunch, went to play laser tag, and then played arcade games, and then went to dinner and got home at like 1 o'clock in the morning. So that was my weekend. It was pretty busy, but pretty good.
Church.
Didn't make it.
I made it to like 3 by 4 services.
You made it to what?
Live. Mm-hmm.
All right. I will be going this Sunday.
Well, tell the great Pastor West I said hello.
I shall. Okay. We have gotten way too far into this show tonight without.
We started late, so I'll subtract.
Let me finish
10 minutes.
Let me finish my statement. You're such an asshole. We've got what I was saying before I was interrupted is we've gotten too far in the show without mentioning the victims of the shooting that just occurred. So thoughts, prayers, hearts, everything goes out to Sutherland Springs community as they deal with this horrible tragedy. I think the last count was 26 dead, 25 injured or somewhere in there.
Yeah, about 52 people injured, 26 people dead, the youngest 18 months, the oldest 72 years old.
Okay, so in case you missed it, a man who used to he was dishonorably discharged from the Air Force. He walked into his local community church that some of his wife's family attended regularly, First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, Texas, which is about 30 miles outside of San Antonio, and killed more than 26 people and injured. I think the total impacted count was like you said, like 52 or something like that. So he killed he killed more than 26 people and the rest were injured. This is the worst in Texas history and the 5th worst in modern American history. Killed about 4% of the town's population. It's a small town. I think their population is under 1,000.
710.
Sheesh. Now, you and I were talking about this before the show. And let me just say, Air Force. I don't understand how. I don't know if some paperwork got slipped under the rug or slipped through the cracks or whatever happened.
They're making
but
it something
apparently,
that's not. The two systems don't talk. So
right. That's a problem.
That's a problem, but
I also feel like they're throwing the Air Force under the bus to blame somebody.
And the Air Force can take the heat, and they can actually take the blame, and nothing's going to happen because the military, they regulate themselves. And
yeah,
opinion doesn't affect them at all. So I feel like we can talk about the fact that it's a problem, but this is one problem I really don't see changing.
Yeah, so if you missed it, the Air Force, like I said, dishonorably discharged him for some domestic issues that he was having with
putting his hands on his wife.
Yeah, he was beating his wife, and he had another issue, but I don't recall what it was. But anyway, they dishonorably discharged him, and they were supposed to report to the FBI that he is not. He's supposed to be added to some list where he cannot have weapons because of these charges that were against him.
How do we know that that's true?
How do we know what's true?
We know that people that are charged with a felony, these things have to in the United States government, it has to be reported. But it's all speculative that the military actually has to tell us.
I mean,
and I've seen reports saying that. I know. I've seen reports that say that, but I'm really on the fence about it because you haven't seen anything. You haven't seen any military PR. Of course, they have that. So, like, I feel like they're like, we can just stay quiet because y'all don't know what we're supposed to do, and we really don't. Like, if you notice, like a lot of times when the military, it's kind of like when the FBI or the CIA or the DEA comes and takes over, regular laws don't just apply anymore. They do their own thing, and that, I don't know, it's weird. But
so
it's easy to blame the Air Force though, because nobody can. Who gonna check them? The president? Yeah.
Did I even finish my sentence?
Yes. No, you didn't. But go ahead.
The Air Force was supposed to report him to the FBI so that he could be added to a list to not be able to purchase a gun. So this may have been preventable, but I guess debate, so to speak, on the table that I've seen a couple of articles is, should this be labeled as terrorism? The New York attack that just happened was very quickly labeled terrorism. And we talked about that, and I had some conversations this weekend with some other people. This conspiracy theory that man was used as a pawn by that ass clown of a president, I've had multiple conversations with multiple people.
You're talking about New York.
Yes, talking about New York.
I haven't met one person, and people don't always feel the same about stuff like that, but I have not talked to one person that believed that that's really what happened. Like what they told us. No, I've not talked to one person. Not one.
Every person I've talked to was like, it's just too convenient. He happened to have a green card. Anyway, that was New York.
And all the people that I talked to, only one of them was a 24 watcher. And he admitted that has a reason to do with it. But I'm like, you watch 24, but it's more than that. It's more than that. If you have common sense, what? No. So
Texas this Texas shooting that just occurred has not been labeled an act of terrorism. And just because I'm a definitions person, terrorism is one definition of it, at least, is the use of intentionally indiscriminate violence as a means to create terror or fear to achieve a political, religious, or ideological aim. Was this Sutherland Springs shooting an act of domestic terrorism?
Was it ideological?
I don't think so. I don't know that we know his motive yet. At least I haven't read any articles that talk about his potential motive for doing this. But from what I have read, the details of who he shot and who he killed and where he did it and how he did it, it sounds like it was personal. He had a grudge against his wife's family. His wife's family went to that church. And so he went in there and shot the place up.
So here's the thing. The New York attack was labeled terrorism. Allah, the man yelled Allah Akbar, which they're really trying to come for these Muslims. But it's interesting really because the Las Vegas incident was not labeled terrorism by anybody but Black people.
Now, we don't know what he was shouting in the hotel room. And I'm not saying that doesn't mean it wasn't an act of domestic terrorism. I think for me, and one of the articles I read that was having this debate said, there are certain legal ramifications that come with you saying this was domestic terrorism that don't come with this just being a crime.
Like what?
Well, hell, I don't know. I didn't read all of that.
And that's the thing, though. I really feel like this is white propaganda. Because first there's no response when we're like, okay, so this is terrorism, this is terrorism, this is terrorism. But then when y'all do it, it's not. And this is why. No, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. Like you don't just to get, oh, well, we didn't know his motives, but we really know them. Like, I don't even believe that this man in New York did this because he wanted to do it. I feel like this was all a ploy. Like, where is he right now? What are they doing with him right now? Is he really is he in hiding somewhere? Do they really still have him in custody? Was this all an act? Like, I don't know. We don't have any information. All they fed us was, oh, he's not sorry. Like,
he had a green card. He was from this country. He was doing this.
With these two white people, they're both dead. And I had a sort of an issue because, as I was reading into
when you say both, you're talking about San Antonio and who else?
I'm talking about San Antonio and I'm Sutherland, and I'm also talking about Vegas.
Oh.
And in both scenarios, they don't know if he killed himself or if somebody shot him. Like the first reports about Sutherland Springs was, oh, he died of a self-inflicted wound. Then the reports came out that it was two vigilante citizens, which my question there was, okay, so it's just okay for some rogue ass white people to chase this man down and kill him. Even I'm not saying that he didn't need to die for what he did in that church, but when is it okay for just two citizens to just get in the pickup truck and chase after him and shoot him dead?
When they're white?
Does nobody see an issue with that though? Isn't there not still a law? And I like, if I'm upset about Black people getting gunned down by police officers for carrying a bag of Skittles, I have to have a concern about white people being celebrated in their vigilante actions for going after this man and imposing justice on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
disagree with that.
That's what I'm saying. I think that it was boggling my mind this morning to the point of where I saw they were like, these are heroes and this is why. Like, first of all, you white people stop telling me this is why. I'll deem him a damn hero when I'm ready to deem him a hero. And I had to ask the question. So I posed a question on Facebook this morning, like, okay, bravo for these vigilante citizens, but are there not laws?
I mean, there are.
Neither one of them were police officers. Like, they were. Like, everyone's so focused on the tragedy, but so I gotta find the post because someone responded to me and was and kind of gave me some clarity. And he didn't know the specific law. And I was like, what you're saying kind of makes sense, so I'm not going to pursue it. But I did have to voice it because it kind of concerned me because I don't understand. These vigilantes just went after it. And I said, quick question, what law allows civilians to pursue and kill? I applaud their actions, but is this killing covered under self-defense?
Or stand your ground law? You know, what is it, 6, 7? I don't remember how many states, but
they were chasing him. He didn't attack them. These two people that killed him, one of them was standing outside of the church, and then he ran up on the other guy with the pickup truck, and he said, hey, this man just killed all the people in the Baptist church. I saw him on the news today, and this is literally what he said. And so we got to beat the law, and we got to go get him.
I mean, Trayvon Martin wasn't pursuing that asshole either, but
my thing.
Sandra Brown law still got him off.
I can't decide to just be the law.
I don't disagree.
That's why I'm having a disconnect. So someone responded and said, there's some type of fleeing felon law. Google that for me. He said, I forgot the name of the law, but if you witness someone commit a violent felony and you have reason to believe someone else is in danger, then you can take them out. For example, if someone robs a gas station, then runs outside to carjack someone to get away, you could shoot them as they're going for the car.
You can shoot them what? I'm doing a lot and my computer keeps freezing. You can do what now?
You can shoot them as they're headed to carjack the car after they rob the gas station.
What is this called again?
The
fleeing felon?
Felon law.
This West Bumble.
So another comment was just like, it was just another day in Texas.
That really is what the press conference looked like. At common law, the fleeing felon rule permits the use of force, including deadly force, against an individual who is suspected of a felony and is in clear flight.
That force may be used like by the victim.
Force may be used by the victim, bystanders, or police officers. So you're telling me that if I am suspected of doing anything, and I happen to be running because a pit bull is chasing me or something, you can just kill my ass?
Kill you dead.
Ooh.
Now you see, this is like you could.
I don't know if I've said it on air or not. It was under the U.S. law was limited in 1985 to non-lethal force in most cases. I've said, I don't know if I've said this on air or not, but we've got to stop governing and running this country based off of laws that have been around since Jesus was hung on the cross. Well, okay?
I don't believe this law has been around that long. I believe this law was put in place to put people like me in check.
I agree with that.
And also to threaten my family and people like me. So it hasn't, that's not an old law, Tiff. That law is 3 years older than us.
Saying there are other laws that have been around since that stupid ass law about you can't carry ice cream cone in your back pocket on a Sunday or whatever. I'm about to cuss. Listen, so let me read this and then we've got to move on to another story because I don't want to talk about this anymore. The federal government uses 3 characteristics to characterize an act of terror. 1, an act that takes place in the United States. 2,
this is who made this?
Dangerous to federal authorities, the FBI. It has to take place in the United States. 2, it's dangerous to human life. 3, is intended to intimidate civilians or affect government policy by mass destruction, assassination, or kidnapping. Now, according to that definition, this is an act of terrorism. Dylan Roof was an act of terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
The Vegas shooting was an act of terrorism. Because no, they may not have wanted to affect government policy. Maybe some of them did, But their intention was to intimidate civilians.
Intimidate. That's right. And terror
and
specifically
and be a danger to human life.
Right. And it specifically is a person or thing that causes extreme fear. So there was an article that came out this week in the Huffington Post that I didn't repost because sometimes I just don't feel like doing that with people. And you can understand. As soon as I post something, everybody has an opinion, and sometimes I just be like, "Bitch, get off my page."
Right.
I posted it so I could come back and read it. That wasn't for you. But the Huffington Post had an article published this week. Most of America's terrorists are white, not Muslim. Okay.
Was this Huffington Post Black Voices or
no? It was just the regular Huffington Post.
Wow, imagine that.
And it starts out with the words "right-wing terror is real and it's a problem."
It is real and it is a problem.
When it comes to right-wing extremism, attackers are also mostly men and almost purely white.
Because we don't do this shit. I'm sorry.
Listen, the reality is the most significant domestic terror threat we have is right-wing extremism.
I'm sorry. We don't go around just shooting any mass crowds of people. We don't claim the DC sniper, but that was the only one that, first of all, every Black person was sitting in their living room just knowing that this man was white. We just all knew that he had to be white because we just don't. We don't do that.
That he was.
Well, that's a whole other story. But
it is a whole nother story. But like when you think about the white man that shot up the movie theater. I mean, for me, white people terrorism started with Columbine. In my world, in my viewpoint. I know that we had the Oklahoma bombings, and there were some other bombings, but the ones that I was really like, oh, something's wrong with white people. And I started to just like the same way they look at Muslims and turbans, that's how I look at crazy white people that look like they haven't bathed. So Columbine, when you think about San Bernardino, did you ever study the San Bernardino shooter? Like, I was so bothered by him.
Did I study him? No.
I mean, I was so bothered by his story, and Law and Order did. They did an episode on him, and I was just bothered because he shot those girls because he had never had sex.
How old was he?
Like 21.
Oh, that's not that bad.
I mean, he wasn't a horrible looking person either. He was just weird. That's why you didn't have sex, because you're weird. And he wrote a whole manifesto. We don't even like writing long text messages. We're not writing a manifesto.
I'm not doing this with you. Anyway, I think that
you see this look on my face. This is how I be feeling. Like every time I get an alert, and I was like, yeah, it took y'all 4.5 hours to even say who this was. So we already knew he was white.
Right.
The black person, the wrong black person ends up on the news and y'all don't even apologize.
Right.
Because you're trying to identify somebody in 10 minutes.
Anyway,
that didn't just get me that breath. I can't.
That's very sad. And like I said, thoughts and prayers to the Sutherland Springs community. Now this man needs to be thrown under a jail. Dad kills 14-year-old son because he would rather he be dead than gay. What in the whole hell?
Wrong cuss.
Like what? Wendell Melton shot and killed his 14-year-old.
What the fuck is wrong with you, sir?
He shot and killed his 14-year-old son, Giovanni Melton, on Thursday. Those close to Giovanni say the reason his life was taken was that he was gay and his father disapproved. He hated the fact that his son was gay. This is Giovanni's former foster mom speaking. I'm sure that inside of his mind, he would rather have a dead son than a gay son. Giovanni was abused physically and mentally and spiritually for many, many years. Under Nevada law, attacking another person because of this happened in Nevada. Attacking another person because of his or her sexual orientation is considered a hate crime. Why is that not the law in every state? But okay. The end of the article said something about, I hope, she said, forget thoughts and prayers. I hope they throw the book at him. I don't believe in the death penalty for multiple reasons. One being that I don't feel it's our right to take a life just because they took one. But
that's deep.
Well, because then that makes us the murderers. So I don't feel two wrongs make a right.
I mean, but I serve a God of justice.
Right, but let him carry out the justice.
Right. That's
why
he puts judges in the earth.
He does put judges in the earth, but I don't think it's our job to kill another human. I just don't.
Look, sometimes
and people have been on death penalty. On death row, have had the death penalty carried out on them.
Yeah, and in those situations, I agree with you. But this man, that's not the case.
And that's what I was about to say. I'm not saying that he should get the death penalty.
I am.
But he should get as close to it as humanly possible. Because I don't have any kids, but the idea of me not loving my child just as much if they were gay, straight, whatever. You hated the fact that he was gay so much, you actually shot and killed your own flesh and blood son, your seed. I just cannot fathom, like, what is so horrible about your child being gay that. And I watched Will and Grace, and one of the episodes of the new season of Will and Grace was, sorry, spoiler alert, if you haven't caught up. Jack had a son in the older seasons, and that son now has a son, and that son is apparently gay, and they were taking him to straighten him out type of camp. One, these camps exist, for those of you who don't know. But two, as a parent, like,
our vice president he's an advocate for those camps.
He's an advocate for gay camps, for kids who are gay to be straightened out.
Conversion therapy.
As a parent,
I'm sorry. Can I just interject? Go ahead. I want you to finish. I'm sorry.
As a parent, how do you get to the point where you feel like homosexuality is such an illness or such a horrible thing that you have to take them to a camp to fix them or heal them, or you just kill them yourselves?
Two things here. I really feel like people are afraid of what they don't know. We know that. People are just terrified. So that's why mostly they're afraid of us, because they're just like, well, I mean, you guys take showers 7 days a week. We take them 3. I don't get you.
I'll take 2 or 3 a day if I need to.
That's much different than people that take 2 and 3 a week.
Yeah.
No judgment. On that note, people are afraid of what they don't know. But can we just talk like facts real quick? Like, okay, so you're afraid of what you don't know, and you also think that what you know is right. Are you with me? So you think that only what you know is right. And if you don't believe that people think like this, just think about your parents. There's certain things that they think, and that's for all of you watching, that you don't think, but they think what they know, and you know what you know. Just like people of a different religion, you like, well, I know God to be a healer, and they like, and I know God to be somebody that ain't never spoke to me. On that same note, unless you're some type of person, like whether you've had sex or not, you get aroused. Okay, everybody gets aroused. Females get aroused, males get aroused. People get aroused in certain ways. I'm a man. I'm a whole man. I don't know how a female gets aroused. Like I know I have this thing that fills with blood and then is extremely embarrassing, especially when you're a young child and it happens in uncontrollable times. Like when you want to give a presentation and you're like, I can't go right now. Well, you need to go. But I can't. Well, you need to go. Did you not do it? Girl, it doesn't matter if I did it or not. What I'm not doing is standing up. That's what I'm not doing. Because I can't. On that note, the only time I know that a man can make his dick get hard is when he's trying to please himself. But in addition to that, it gets hard for what it likes. It has a mind of its own. That's not something that you make up. So if the man's out here getting
but
hard,
it can get hard for stuff you don't like too. And I'm saying that for like men who have, or women who have been sexually molested or assaulted or anything like that.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about.
I know, but I'm putting that disclaimer out there too. I'm just saying.
No, but that's if you're being touched inappropriately, and that doesn't mean that you liked it. But what I'm saying is, it does get hard when it sees what it likes, and it has nothing to do with this brain. I'm a man and I know how this works. I don't know that you guys have anything that just rises on sight. And it's like, I wasn't even looking at that. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you like, on that note, a grown-ass man, dad, you know that for his mama, that's what happened to you. Why the fuck are you mad at somebody because they have a body part that refuses to look at what you like? Like when you really break it down like that, it has nothing to do. It's not spiritual. There's not a demon. There's not like, look, this thing saw what it liked and then it said, hey, what's up? Hello. Seen your pretty ass. Soon as you like, that's what happened. So, like, you people that just be on these, like, he deserves not only the death penalty, he deserves to be castrated before he's sentenced to death.
Tell us how you really feel.
Because you took a whole life, you took a 14-year-old life.
Yeah.
Why, bro? Like, why? Why?
He
probably I can shed a pussy. Like, come on, bro, get the.
He probably has some demons of his own that he needs. If he's been spiritually, mentally, and physically abusing him for years,
if you killed your own son.
He has some own demons he needs to get worked out. He's gonna have plenty of time to do it in jail.
If you killed your son, you got demons.
Okay, let's move on because I hit all the heavy stuff. Brother Love. What's wrong with Diddy? Why does he insist on changing his name repeatedly? We were good. We've gone from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy to Diddy. Did I miss any?
Y'all have gone. I call that man what I want to call him. Okay.
Oh, Puffy.
Like, I feel like he's lost his mind. He's lost his mind, and he was clearly drunk when he made this video.
Over the weekend, for those who missed it, over the weekend, Diddy announced he's changed his name yet again to Brother Love.
Why?
He went and did a video and said, I have some very serious news. I've been praying on this, and I knew it was risky because it could come off as corny to some people, but I decided to change my name again. I'm just not who I am before. I'm something different. So my new name is Love, aka Brother Love. I will not be answering to Puffy, Diddy, Puff Daddy, or any other monikers, but Love or Brother Love.
It'll be real when you change your screen name, bro.
Listen, he will still be Diddy to me because I'm not. And I mean, maybe this is just a ploy because his next album is due for to be released in December. So
I feel like he was drunk, he was emotional, and he had all his friends around him, and he was like, I just feel the love, call me love.
He had Cassidy around him.
Cassidy or Cassie?
I think it was Cassidy.
Cassidy the rapper?
Hold on. No, it was Cassie. It was Cassie.
I was like, Cassie is his girlfriend, but Cassidy the rapper, nobody's heard him since 1990. I mean 2007.
Yeah, it was him and Cassie on the beach in Mexico.
He was also hugging French Montana. He had all those people down there.
Yeah, I'm sure he was just feeling some type of way. I don't know. I'm not calling that man no other new names. Sir, your name is Diddy. Stick with it. We've been using that for years. In other news, we talked about Walk to the Big House. Meek Mill and Fetty Wap will be singing that Anthony Hamilton song, Coming From Where I'm From.
I don't know how long Fetty Wap's gonna be in jail, but Meek is 2 to 4 years, bro. Meek.
Well, why? Fetty. Okay, let's talk about Meek first. Meek Mill, for those who missed it, arrested, convicted, sentenced at a minimum 2 years in prison for violating his parole. So he got into a fight in Philly, I think, and a fight in was it St. Louis, I think. Both of those charges were dropped, but the judge said that the arrests in and of themselves were enough for it to be a violation of his parole and for him to go back to prison.
It's because he's black and he's a rapper.
Well, Meek's attorney had something to say about it. Meek's attorney said this is backlash because the judge asked, I want to say it was last year, for Meek to do some kind of song remix and give the judge a shout out. And Meek laughed and thought that the judge was joking. And the judge said, no, I'm serious. And Meek was like, I'm not doing that. And the judge said, suit yourself. So the attorney says this is a harsh sentence and this is backlash and that they're going to appeal it.
Of course.
But right now he's facing a minimum of 2 years in prison.
Right. But you're not going to give that to the average tax-paying black man. You're not going to give it to the average tax-paying citizen. You're doing that because you're trying to make an example out of him. A probation violation is not worth 2 years in prison. The prisons are full.
Right. Full, okay? Just like Atlanta. Full. Now, let me tell you, and I promise we're going to go back to who's going to the big house. But I found out this weekend, I don't know how I missed this bit of information, but I didn't know that Paul Manafort, one of the guys who's just not sentenced. Charges were brought against him in the Russian scandal. Yeah.
Indicted.
That's indicted. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. He had a $5 million bond that he did not have to pay to not have to go to prison, not have to go to jail. But you got people sitting in jail over stupid shit because they can't pay a $200 bond or whatever. Well, Anyway.
You looking mighty black over there, sister.
It really unnerves me.
Like, I don't even understand why you're on that for the second. Like, can I just say, like, all of this, we're talking about Hillary and these emails, and I read them damn emails. I used to read them on air every day. We sat there and we would read WikiLeaks. And I'd be like, really? And the emails,
it was
I told you about these emails. Like,
it was stupid stuff.
Hey, Hill, I'm going to teach you how to work your H-pad. That's the grandma code word for iPad. Like, come on, bro. I can't. But Paul Manafort, you had 3 passports. How do you, like, I know, like, people had little fake IDs that don't even look real. 3 whole passports? And I'm going to tell you, I'm black and I know plenty of trap niggas. And I know what you do when you have a phone that's not in your name or you got a trap phone or a track phone. Code word for trap phone.
Not a track phone, though.
That's what Paul Manafort had. A cell phone in somebody else's name and 3 passports. What do you think he was doing? Out there somewhere fucking with Beirut's mother and father. Okay? Paul.
I cannot.
Bro. It's astonishing. It's annoying. It's disturbing. It's frustrating. It's America.
It's all those things. So Fetty was arrested for drunk drag racing. He was racing another drive. Sir, you have one eye. He was driving on a highway
and no one's like, I'm not even judging the fact that you have one eye and you lost it from glaucoma when you were like 5. Like, but you.
No, I am judging you that you should not be drag racing in New York City after 1 a.m. drunk with one. You shouldn't be doing that if you had 2 eyes. But you could damn sure shouldn't be doing it.
The highways in New York are 2 lanes. Fetty, the highways in New York are 2 lanes.
Right.
Why are you doing this? Why?
How? He was driving a 2015 Mercedes, was pulled over and handed the officer an expired New Jersey driver's license. The cop almost immediately noticed signs of intoxication. Fetty was given a field sobriety test, which he failed. He blew a .09, which is just above the legal limit. He was arrested for 15 charges, including reckless endangerment, drag racing, DUI, driving without a valid license, unsafe lane changing, aggravated unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle, following too close, and speeding. Those are just some of them.
They're going to get you on at least 7 of the 15.
At least, bruh. Your ass going to jail.
Hey, what's up? Goodbye. Bye.
I cannot. Yeah, man, that's just dumb. That's just dumb. I mean, come on, my people.
First of all, your judgment is bad because you want to race. You want to drive yourself. That's the first concern. The second concern is you're driving around with one eye and you want to race. The person that wanted to race you, they must have had a death wish.
Right. Now I have a real serious question. And
so I really want to know what happened. Was it like whoop whoop? And he was like, "Yeah, babe." The fuck? No, I'm over it.
Since it's his right eye that's missing, right? Or is it the left? I've never really been a fan of Fetty, so okay, it's the left. So like, how did he see out his peripheral to be able, like?
He can't see.
How does that work?
Peripheral. He doesn't have a peripheral. The eye doesn't work. There's no eye. There's not a glass eye. And there's a patch. If it sometimes there's not even a patch. On his album cover, it was just a red.
I can't. Do you have a lot of windows open on your computer?
I'm sorry. I had made it big.
Anyway, That was just a dumb as hell decision. That was dumb. Last story. Shea Moisture. Oh, Shea Moisture. Y'all have done it. Okay. So, as y'all recall, Shea Moisture got some flack, some backlash, some protests, some burning of products, some throwing away of products. I wasn't throwing my products away. Shit's too expensive, and I got too much of it. So I wasn't doing all of that. But limit my purchases from them because they released a video earlier this year that isolated the audience, Black women, who has really helped build this company of Black hair care products. I mean, it's for all women, but they alienated us earlier this year when they did that, and then tried to come out with the reason of, it's part of a larger campaign for all women, and we just released that video first. You shouldn't have. So, they got in some trouble for that.
Lies.
But they have come back, and they are trying to get their Black women back, okay? They released a video. Now, Shea Moisture has had a men's line for years. It's not new, for those who didn't know. Their men's line is not new. They have, like, men's shaving stuff, bar soap.
We don't use it like that.
Well, they have because most people don't know that Shea Moisture has had this men's line.
I'm glad that y'all had a men's line, but like we ain't know.
Yeah. So the purpose of this video is to bring awareness to their men's line. The way in which they did it, though, and we'll link to the ad when this gets posted. My God in heaven. I have seen a few videos of Black women trying to say, oh, Shea Moisture, you think you slick. Y'all not going to get us like that. But then they have the video playing next to them. And they're like, you're not going to get, hello. No, what we're not going to do is, oh, well, Jesus, he is. I mean, they pick some of the most wonderfully created in God's image. Hallelujah. He is the worthy looking type of men to put in this video.
Are you done dripping?
I hate you. My point was, Shea Moisture, I don't know if they are just trying to bring, because as a man, if I were a man, I don't care about no half-naked men advertising no men's line for your company.
Well,
so I really feel like they
know that I don't completely agree with that. I don't think so. I think that, and this is a whole another theological, philosophical conversation that goes back into how, like, in the Black community, men aren't supposed to admire other men, but we do. You see a haircut that you like. Is
admire the right word?
Admire is the right word. There's a problem if you look at a Black man too long. But bitch, if the nigga has some hair, and I'll be like, damn, I might be able to rock that. You might find yourself staring. That doesn't mean that you're interested in the man. But in the Black community, the church has made it that. People have made it that. Black men have made it that. Black women have made it that. That's true. That is, there's no other male community that deals with that bullshit.
True.
There is not. True. Like, a white man can be the most sassy, sweetest, switching, broken wristed motherfucker, and he's like, yeah, my wife ain't me.
Oh my God.
I'm not lying though. That's real. So I said all that to say that you can look at a Black man's beard and say, bro, that's dope. And the Shea Moisture research, I believe they looked into that, and that's probably what they did. And so while all the females are going off, you're not going to see any Black men reposting it. But a lot of them probably did the little, what's the thing called on Instagram? I've never used it. The save thing.
The bookmark?
Yeah. Because what do you think? Like, how do you think black men get haircuts? Those little posters in the barbershop, no man is looking at that. Like, bruh, I seen my nigga's picture on Instagram, bruh. Hook me up. That's literally how it works. Shape this beard up like that. Like, that's literally this, do this. So that's why I disagree.
I don't know how. I've been in a barbershop maybe twice in my life, so I don't know how that works.
I mean, a lot of us go to, well, especially in metropolitan cities, a lot of us have like private, and that's what I'm saying. We're vain. We're more vain than we let on to be. Especially, like, I mean, I've been going to, well, I don't go to a private barber anymore, but when I was in Atlanta, my barber had his own little, like, I don't have to deal with all of that. But I think the black barbershop experience is crucial for the black man, crucial for the black child. Like, there's all these think pieces about how it perpetuates these black masculinity stereotypes, but the black barbershop for the black man literally is where you go for counseling and healing and church and encouragement and prayer and guidance and psychology.
I mean, I definitely expect my husband to take our son to the black barbershop.
I mean, at least till he's like
fully
12, 14.
Yeah, I fully expect that.
14. Because your husband really has to tell the barber how to cut the boy's hair.
Right. And don't bring my child home with no messed up haircut either. So this better be a barber you've been going to.
A messed up hairline.
Yeah. No. Like, even if my husband, whoever he is, even if he like cuts his own hair or beard or whatever, I still want you to take my son to a barbershop because I want him to have that. It's a black barbershop.
All right.
Don't take my kid to no supercuts or nothing.
You're on some territory. And we out of time. I said, and we're out of time.
What'd you say about territory?
I said you are infringing on some territory of which you have no permission to be in. Your husband is going to do what he feels.
If it's my child, I got permission.
For that little boy. Right. Half of the permission.
That's still part of the permission.
Half of it.
Anyway, we are out of time. You can get in touch with me at Tiff Linnell. Everything, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. I don't know what else I have. Or you can go to tifflinnell.com and all of my stuff is on there as well. Alex the Great, how can they get in touch with you?
This time change has me messed up, so I'm about to hop in my bed. But I'm Alex the Great, ATL. I'm Alex Unmuted on Twitter, Instagram, and .com. Remember, today is greater. Believe it, speak it, and live it. You have to make the choice to be great because your situation is not your destination. You got to make it your motivation. We're back here on a Wednesday, and tell somebody. Make sure they come and join us, all right? Make sure you go to the ShakeUpShow.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, like we said, the ShakeUp Show. And we out. Namaste.